Welcome back to the Tidarium Hangar. This is Mike. I'm coming at you with the Takara C-01S. It's their Sentinel Prime for the missing Link line, which I'm loving this line so far. I just hope to get more characters, but this is a repaint of the Optimus Prime into what they call Sentinel Prime, which we'll get into talking about that. Hopefully I get a good enough graphic at the beginning that you get the idea, but I did get this at Shows store. I'm going to link down below where you can get yours. Remember, TH in the reviewer code to help the channel out. But we're going to take a look at this guy and kind of why I like this line and why I'm supporting it with buying stuff like this that's a little bit outside of the norm. We'll talk about this and more coming up. Alright, so here is the packaging, and it is black and white instead of color to it, and the only color we see is on the cab. Interesting the way they went about it. I actually would have preferred more color on it than this, but it is what they did. Interesting stuff. No back flap on these, which the back flaps get messed up. Hey, cool that they changed the color of the Optimus Prime jumping in the air there. Anyway, there's the packaging. At least it's got a window box. Right, and here it is out of the packaging, and it is definitely an Optimus Prime. It is different looking. It is pretty cool. Now, I'm not sure they got the color of orange right for this, and I believe it's when the Teletran one scans and picks the different vehicle modes for them. That's kind of what I think it's all about, but still some cool stuff going on right here. And it's just basically the same Prime trailer. It's the same Prime cab. It's all just recolored. And there's just less color on the side here. So this is supposed to look like when some random truck's just rolling by. And it's unbranded. There's no Autobot logo on it. But everything else is pretty much intact. And yeah, there it is. But let's get into quickly just looking at the cab. And the cab, of course, we have the vac metal right here, here, and here, and here. And then we've got the stripe on it, and yeah, looks like you'd expect for an Optimus Prime cab. You do have this on the back, which I don't believe is a sticker. I believe that is all paint, tamper-graph paint. Got some stuff on the bottom. We'll see when he gets into his bot mode. And then on here we've got the typical slide this stuff here out, and then we can open the back. It's super tight. Unlike my G1, it's super tight. And then this stuff here all opens up. So that's some good stuff there. Just like back in the day, it'll open up and you can do all this stuff with it. And so one of the things that, as a kid, I never really took advantage of this, but you could have, say, this thing coming up here and doing some stuff. Let's get that back in there. You could have this going on, all of that, or you could have it come up through the top. And that's stuff that I never really took advantage of back in the day, but it's something that you could do. It's a thing you can do if you want. One of the classic problems we had, and I don't think red was as big of a deal, but yellowish, orangish colors, it stands out, and that's where paint doesn't match plastic dye, and it doesn't match. Now, it's not a huge distractor. It really looks close in the front for some reason, but side and on the top, it stands out a bit as not matching. Not that they really could have done a whole lot to match it even better. I don't know how they would have. The reds don't match on primes, but it's not as noticeable for whatever reason. This thing here does come out. I'm not sure I'm going to mess with that right now. Probably during transformation. Mess with popping that out. But you got the matrix chamber. That's going to hold the matrix. Now, normally this is supposed to be like Diaclone drivers. Well, maybe I will get that out now. Diaclone drivers in here. So there are seats just like the regular standard one. And I partially have to transform it to get it out. It wouldn't come out for me without partially transforming it. And then you always transform it back. Getting into here, there's the seats and where you put some Diaclone drivers, which I don't really have any Diaclone drivers, but there that is. Let's get into some comparisons. Alright, there it is next to good old-fashioned Optimus Prime, the original G1. As you can see, really looks the same, except for the different coloration and the change in the trailer. In fact, the trailer here looks like more of a gray, that looks like more of a silver, and the blue stripe is, of course, what we know of Optimus Prime, but there's some differences on purpose, and so yeah, there it is. It's the difference between the G1 Optimus Prime. And here it is with, I don't know, Hound and Wheeljack, just for some fun, because. Anyway, there's some comparisons. I guess I should have planned out some better comparisons. Now, to transform this guy, we're going to go ahead and pull down his legs, and then we're going to spread them on the legs. Then we're going to fold out the arms, put the hands in there, and then fold out the shoulders, flip his head around, and we've, for the most part, gotten the transformation. Oh, flatten the feet. We've gotten the transformation there. Fold the hands out. You know, I just thinking about it, could this have been done in 1984? How would this have really added to the cost significantly? Well, it was already an expensive figure. It would have gone from like 25 to maybe 30 back in 1984 if they had done all these changes. Possibly. I think that this spreads a little bit more from my other one that we did, but I'll take a look at that. Right, here he is transformed. Let's do the articulation, which the head's side to side only, no ball joint, but you can go up a bit to look at like Skyfire or something, Jetfire. He does not have the butterfly to the inside, butterfly to the outside, just like the original figure. He has added this extra articulation right here, which is fantastic versus the original. And then the 360 was always there, but things feel tight. And then you start hearing ratchets that did not exist in the original one. The hand has opening hand, which is great. I love these missing link figures, by the way. And this is what inspiring me to want to get my G1 back on track and, you know, get all the parts and stuff. We do have articulation to there, which is something you didn't get back in the day, but you did always get that articulation. And then trying to think, right here at this point is where you would get the biceps, the thigh swivel, and I'm not gonna risk it. I get it really good on that side. This side, for whatever reason, I'm not. There it is. It's really tight. It is not a ratchet. It is friction. And that, I believe, some die cast in there. Okay, the knee, nice. Past the 90 on that knee, which leaves a slight bit of it. It's not really a gap so much as it's anticipating past the 90 on the articulation. Those kinds of changes I love. I really do love that kind of stuff. And then the feet, you do get some tiltage to it. So just same stuff we had before, but in all reality, I haven't really handled mine other than pulling it out for comparisons. It's the only time I ever handle it for the first one, but we'll be doing some comparisons here in a bit. Let's get into accessories. Every good Cybertronian likes to accessorize. Now, I'm not going to mess with the roller. There's really, they didn't reinvent the wheel with roller, which is fine. Everything's the same with roller as with the first one. So I'm not going to be going over the fact that they didn't reinvent the wheel. We got sprues here for the wheels to go on. And you have the missiles that go with the trailer. And so for that, because it's all redundant from the first release, I don't see the point of messing with it. And I'm not going to display all that stuff on it, but I will be displaying this stuff on it. So I'm going to get all this fun stuff out of here. And I guess we'll get into that. I never really show the cards and stuff, but there is the instructions and cards and stuff, because you don't see this on the website. And what does it come with? More sticker decals, I believe. So you get all this good stuff with it. But let's get into installing the chamber again. So lift his head up, pull this out. We're going to install the chamber by setting it in here and then sliding it in place, which I didn't check. You know, I'm bad. I should have checked to see if that chamber goes in an original G1 also, if it matches, because it should, in my mind, match the original G1 exactly too. That'd be a good question to have. Make it up one day here. So the gun, pretty standard. I guess we'll do well, actually, don't know if I've got the original G1's gun here. I know it's slightly different than the original G1's gun. And there it goes into his hand, which is cool the way they molded it. And although we covered it in the first one, if I get that in there, it will hold in his hand without the fingers having to hold it, because it's like a semicircle that goes in a way that it holds it. So that's really good. And then the fingers are there just for fun. And then, of course, for whatever reason, it's a green matrix, which does look really cool. That is quite nice. Quite nice. Very nice. There we go. And then we have this here, which is the energy axe, which I love how they do that. It just is a peg that slots over his hand. And there we go. And he looks very nice with all of his accessories, fully accessorized. There's Sentinel Prime. Now that he's all accessorized up and he has his trailer in the background, his head has some paint on it, similar to exactly what they did with the G1, except different color. Now it's sort of a yellowish orange overall, which it's more orange in hand. It is way more orange in hand than the camera's picking up. It is yellow. So it's not yellow 100%. It is more on the orange side of things. And then these are orange paint, blue eyes. He's got the stripe that carries through. He's got the detailing here, and it is actual raised detailing. It is not a sticker, and it's all individually painted. Down here we have detailing and some paint. But yeah, look at that. Look at that gleam of that back metal. And then the toes are painted. And then there he is from the back. From the back, you can see the matrix chamber chilling in there. But the engineering, the enhanced engineering, is a little different, so you'll have a different viewpoint of this figure from the back versus the actual original G1. But there we go. Looks pretty good, and I don't know, and I'm going to say this right now, I don't know if they make 10 different colors of him, I'd buy all 10. If they do like 3 or 4, I'd be okay and pick each one of those up. But that's just me. For comparison, and for a very good clickbait picture, I want to put him next to the first version. I think this is the cartoon iteration of the Optimus Prime Missing Link. And then this one here is the Megatron original G1. Probably the best of my 5 that I have. The best of the best of the best. I actually have another one where I've turned his cannon around. But anyway, comparing these and looking at these, I think that this is just, it's so different enough that it's kind of worth having. That's the way I look at it. It is different enough, and it's not falling into any other kind of space. But are we going to get like Shattered Glass? Are we going to get Nemesis? We probably will. I bet we do. But when are we going to get a Megatron? And I got to tell you, I don't know how many Megatrons I'd be in on. I'm thinking 3. I don't know why. That sounds like a good number, but I think I would get 3. And if they did Megatron, they would probably do Megatron in different versions. Of course, you'll have the standard toy. You might get a cartoon redeco and all of this kind of stuff. So, I mean, I would be at 3 pretty fast, right? Because they would do so many different redecos of it, and they would print money with that thing. It sell like crazy, and especially at like the $150 price point, something like that, versus, and have the packaging and have all of that. But if they did him, they need to put the flap. They got to do the flap. But that's just my belief on that. Anyway, long comparison. Here's next to my original G1, and I can't even say it's my best. Their original G1, it's not the same one that's in cab mode, and I've got to kind of go through all that. Anyhow, with that, I just want to point out that it matches the G1, but you can see where it goes above and beyond. Like you don't have the plug-in hands anymore, and instead of having stickers that peel off like this is peeling off, you have actual paint, which should last as long as it's a collectible. You're not going to be bashing it together with anything. So 20 years from now, that paint should still be there, looking exactly the same as this. Although I did have an issue with paint on one of my figures, but this is still, yeah, it's such an upgrade and bringing everybody back to where it all began. See, when you make videos of the pretty much the exact same figure, but it's colored different, you need to do something a little different. And I've been wondering, because I never even tried this, can I remove this matrix chamber and put it over here? And the answer is no. The reason the answer is no is because they redesigned this so that there's a notch in here, but that notch doesn't exist in here. So the hinge is different. So these pieces here protruding actually are part of holding this front piece in place. The way this hinge is designed, it is not needing the side pieces to protrude. Therefore, henceforth, for art thou, they can put this in here, and it doesn't fit into. Now, I've seen people create, like third-party creators or something along those lines, create something for the G1 Prime for a chest cavity and make that work, but yeah, that's loose. You don't have that in here. You got nice and tight. But I just figured it'd be something to show. This is my look at the Sentinel Prime. Like the Oldsmobile commercial says, this is not your father's Sentinel Prime or Optimus Prime. It is updated for the modern era, and it's fantastic. Now, is this going to be for everybody? Probably not. It's probably not going to be everybody wanting to go out and get a yellow Optimus Prime, but there's going to be a lot of people like me that are curious and interested and happy to have something just a little bit different on their shelf. Now, I want to support everything with the missing link. I really do want new characters. Super ultra duper ultra want Megatron. Please, Takara, let's do it. But I did get this at ShowZ store. You can get yours there too. Remember, put in TH in the support your reviewer to help the channel out, of course. And thanks so much for watching. Teddy Hanger out.
Action!